Good evening, and thank you very much for joining us. Nariman Issa joins me on the desk for our top story tonight. Well, it was quite the heavy storm last night, Nariman, with bad rain and explosive thunder and lightning just filled up the whole sky.
Yes, Laura. Now, our region has been hit very hard with some severe weather this summer. Last night's storm didn't last too long to cause widespread damage, but there was some flooding on city streets and a scary moment for one local couple.
Thunder was loud, the lightning ripping through the dark, ominous clouds. The storm came in hard and was a little too close for comfort for the bloaters. The couple's vehicle was struck by lightning while they were parked.
Big thunder and lightning, and the car gave a little jump. Then I tried to start it up and it will not start.
The car's antenna was ripped off. Luckily, they both escaped injury.
The wife and I are both fine. It just shook up a little.
These flash storms could bring with them flash flooding, a headache no home or business owner wants to deal with. But it's something the crew over at Spectrum Restoration Services deals with on an everyday basis. They say prevention is key to ensure your home is well equipped to deal with Mother Nature's wrath.
You make sure you have a good sump pump and that the float is working and not stuck.
Travis Steeb says his company deals with, on average, 2 phone calls a day for flooding. But back a couple of weeks ago, a massive storm had them answering roughly 80 calls in one day. He says the sump pump is the most important tool in preventing flooding, and to make sure you have it plugged in a separate power source.
It's nice to have a backup generator or something like that, so that usually during a thunderstorm the power will go out, and then at that point your sump pump's no good unless you have backup power.
Steve says you should test your sump pump at least once a year.
Travis Steeb also warned about cleaning up certain messes. Now, make sure the power is turned off if there is still water in the basement. He says if it's a sewer that's backed up, it is now a toxic area, so proper cleanup is important. Also, if it's not cleaned properly, mold could form and spread. Lauren?
Thank you very much for that report, Nariman, and stay tuned to Newcap Television for all of your latest storm coverage. Well, RCMP are on the hunt for 3 suspects after they allegedly robbed a cab driver at gunpoint in North Battleford. Police say 3 men were also armed with knives and stole an undisclosed amount of cash at roughly 2:30 a.m. The driver wasn't injured in the attack, and the RCMP is now asking for the public's help in finding the suspects. Anyone with information is asked to call the Battleford's RCMP or Crime Stoppers. A welcome relief for healthcare in the border city as the After Hours Clinic on 50th Street opened its doors 4 months ago. The Prairie North Health Region knew there would be huge public interest in the service as an alternative for those without a family doctor. About 30 patients are seen each night during the 4 hours after the clinic is open, averaging about 500 visitors a month.
The After Hours Clinic provides a very valued and needed service, and almost all of our physicians are participating on that roster, and they've done so willingly. But the reality is one physician can only see so many people in an evening.
The clinic has been in high demand, so much so that there have been cases where 2 or 3 people have been turned away in a night. Since opening, the clinic has been running smoothly and the lineups have stayed steady. Some patients getting there before the 4 o'clock opening.
There are other physicians that operate clinics out of this site, so we only kind of allow people to line up or to come in for the After Hours Clinic at the earliest at 3:45, 4 o'clock. So we'd really encourage people not to come much earlier because they'll be asked to wait, and we don't have waiting room space for them to wait inside.
With the heat, Acton says waiting outside isn't a good idea for those already not feeling well. The clinic is open Monday to Thursday. For more information, you can visit the Prairie North Health Region's website. Controversy continues over the proposed Northern Gateway pipeline project, which is slated to stretch between Alberta's oil sands and BC's northern coast. Next week, churches across Canada will meet to debate a resolution rejecting the pipeline's construction for fears a spill would poison land and water. On the alternate side, the Alberta Chamber of Commerce is now throwing its support behind the project, and so is our local chamber. The provincial chamber has sent a letter of commitment to the joint panel, which is in charge of assessing the project.
We know that there are environmental concerns, and we fully support looking into every one of those concerns. We know Enridge has their due diligence to follow to make sure that they address all of those concerns.
The Alberta Chamber says the pipeline getting the green light is in the best public interest and will help boost the economy. Last week, Prime Minister Stephen Harper set a firm deadline for the review process to wrap up. A decision on if the $6 billion pipeline project gets the go-ahead must be made by the end of 2013. Construction is well underway at the new industrial zone in Vermilion, but the town is still looking to find the perfect name. Vermilion is engaging the public in search of an innovative new name, and so far it's received some suggestions.
We have a few. I haven't reviewed them myself, but I guess we've had I think up to 10 submissions so far, and so it's something we hope to get a few more before we put them back to the committee to make a decision.
The industrial park is located just north of Highway 16, and once the town receives enough submissions, a final decision will be made.
The committee will review and see what they think is the best option for the town in terms of naming rights, and something that I guess will be an attractive name that will I guess be good for the long term.
Now, if you think you know the perfect name, you can go to that address right there on your screen and click on Name an Industrial Park.